Hello and welcome to the Drep and Stone podcast, a podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. How are you?
Man, I am great.
So good.
Yeah, it's a new year. I recognize like this is our second episode of 2026, but it's our first recording of 2026.
Correct.
So it's a new year.
Yep.
I'm feeling great. It's sort of winter outside. Not really because it's in the like 80s.
Yeah, we had a little burst of a couple of days.
Oh, did you?
Of it being cold, yeah.
When was that? I say did you because I know that it was cold, but I wasn't here for it.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
It was short-lived.
Like in that Christmas to New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a couple of days that got down into like there was one night it got down into the upper 30s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's for our area. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And if anyone's not been to Florida when it's in the upper 30s, that's kind of cold.
Yeah.
I recognize like
It's a wet cold.
Yeah, exactly. Some people in like Chicago are like, it's a
Cute.
what? It's what?
That's cute.
Yeah. Sheboygan's like,
Put my flip-flops on.
Exactly. No, I wasn't here for that time period because I was in Ireland.
Correct, you were.
Yeah, and it was also very cold there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it actually wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you spent the new year there.
I did, yeah. We left Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And we returned day after New Year's Day, so the 2nd.
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't as cold as I thought it would be. Like, it was cold, don't get me wrong. But it was like a consistent cold.
Manageable.
Definitely manageable. Like, sometimes I was wearing like a long sleeve shirt.
Right.
And then my jacket.
Every once in a while I wore a long sleeve shirt. You know, my wrists would get cold. Had to warm up my elbows.
Okay. I wore pants. I wore socks.
Oh.
Yeah. Not that I normally do wear socks, just so everybody knows. But I wore pants.
You don't frequent flip-flops.
I don't. No, I do like have flip-flops,
Right.
but I'm not a big flip-flop person.
Right.
I don't know why. But I do have flip-flops and I do wear them. But anyway,
You own a pair.
I own a pair and I do wear them.
My winter flops.
That aside, hey, we're in Florida, man. There are winter flops. They cover that little thong strap covers just a little bit more of that
Got a
foot.
little fur lining.
Exactly. But I could wear like a mid-ish range winter jacket and I was just fine. Like sometimes
Nice.
it was a little windy and that's when it got like, okay, Ireland.
Did y'all spend a lot of time outside?
Actually, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a couple of really nice walks. Like there's a walk from where our hotel was to the Guinness Storehouse, which for everybody listening, if you've not been to the Guinness Storehouse, it's a fantastic experience. It's not the brewery, but it's like adjacent to the brewery.
Right.
It is amazing. Even if you don't like Guinness, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that was a good 1.5 mile walk. So,
nice.
we spent a good amount of time outside then. Every day we were out, bopping around Dublin and whatever. We went over to Galway area for a couple of days, which is like directly west of Dublin.
Right.
And we did a couple decent walks outside then, kind of in the mountains. And then we went south of Galway into the Cliffs of Moher area. And like all of that's outside. If you just, Google, TikTok or Instagram or whatever, Cliffs of Moher, you'll see like insane wind and weather. It wasn't that bad. It was cold, but it wasn't like people like can't stand up. It's so windy.
Right.
It wasn't anything.
Wasn't brutal.
Yeah, it wasn't brutal. It wasn't anything like
Caught
that.
her at the right time.
Yeah, it was a great trip.
Very nice.
You're going on a trip here pretty soon too.
Yeah. Yeah. Headed up to New England.
Yeah.
Gonna bop around a couple states up there.
Yeah.
See some stuff. Go into the woods. Hopefully find some snow. We'll see what we do.
Is it because you wish to live deliberately that you're going to the woods? That's a Thoreau line. You don't understand that. There are 3 listeners that will.
Thorough?
Well, it is very thorough.
A Thoreau line.
Henry David Thoreau.
Oh.
Yeah, back to our old friend from a couple weeks ago.
HDT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not to be confused with NGT or ND.
Right.
Neil deGrasse. NDT.
NDT.
HDT.
TV. HGTV.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, he has a line that says, I went to the woods because I wish to live deliberately or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, sort of.
Sure.
I guess. No, I think we just like the woods.
What? Yeah.
Just want to go bebop in a AirBNB.
Oh,
Out in the woods.
Yeah. I love New England.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I know that we've both had some experiences actually together in New England.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. Especially like you've not driven. I mean, in those respective places, Portland and Vermont, you've driven.
Right.
But like not driven around New England.
I've not driven. in Portland.
No, you did not. You did
I
not
did
drive in
touch
Portland.
a steering wheel that trip.
You were chauffeured.
Yes, I was. I
You were
was
fancy.
backseat.
You were a fancy boy.
Driving Mr Waldrep.
I'm excited because it's.
I don't think I'm going to be doing any driving this trip either, from what I've been told.
Man, you real fancy boy.
Just escort me around.
Means you can have whatever kind of beverages you like.
That's right. That's right. So just be cognizant of where your nearest restroom is.
Well, you just need a cup.
Yeah, in the woods.
Yeah, sure. Tree.
Hey, pull over for a minute.
Yeah. You want to drink something?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to finding some Narragansett on tap.
Yes. Actually, can I make a special request of you?
Sure.
So if you're anywhere where you're in a bottle shop kind of scenario or a liquor store or a beer emporium,
Sure.
try and find the Narragansett, the coffee stout. It's with Autocrat.
Okay.
Coffee milk stout, I think it is. And then there's I think it's either a Baltic porter or it's some sort of like big beer.
Gotcha.
And they're only available, from what I understand, in the wintertime. When we were up there last, I guess 2 years ago, I couldn't find any.
Right.
If you think about it, keep your eyes peeled.
Anything, because like I always see advertisement for the Bing Crosby Narragansett
the
White
winter
Christmas.
warmer, yeah.
So I would like to find one of those also. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, because I would love to try those. Because it's Narragansett.
It's Narragansett. It's going to be good.
Exactly.
Guaranteed.
Exactly. And if it's not good, I still want to try it.
Yeah.
I still want to try it. You want to drink something?
Yeah, let's drink something.
Perfect. As we said, I just got back from Ireland.
Right.
We have an old friend from Ireland.
Yeah, we do.
He lives in Ireland currently.
Yeah, he's there right now.
He's there right now. In fact, like we just got information from him.
Just heard his lovely melodic voice.
And so one of my goals going to Ireland was to pick up a couple more bottles from our old friends WD O'Connell.
Indeed.
And
you did.
I did. Yeah,
made it
I
happen.
did. I did not bring back as many as I would like, but I brought back the ones that I was after.
There you go.
And so like I knew just because of Dahi posting a bunch of stuff on Instagram, and then just being in contact with him, that there was a couple bottles that I was super interested in. There was one that I really wanted, but it was a bit higher than my budget would allow.
Right.
So I couldn't get that one. And it was like I think it was like a 25-year PX cask or sherry cask. Like I was really excited for that. And then I saw the price and I was like, I could get 2 of these or I could get one. Like, so, it's one of those things.
It's always where we are.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the bottles that I did pick up is the Hook or By Crooke.
That's a sexy bottle.
It is a sexy bottle. You'll remember we've had the From Clare to Here.
Yep.
And the From Clare to Here, the actual bottle, we had like a little sample bottle, so we didn't get the whole bottle. But the bottle is reminiscent of that.
Of the From Clare to Here?
From Clare to Here, yeah.
You didn't have a bottle of that?
No, we got the little sample bottles.
I thought you had a bottle of that.
No, I have. In fact, I have just like a spit left, which I need to consume that thing. The Carry Out Killarney special one that he did in 2023.
Yeah, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize the branding. It's a similar aesthetic as the From Clare to Here.
Originally, that was Dahi's idea of like bringing in some local ideas from Ireland and doing a bottling or a line with that.
Right.
And so From Clare to Here is a song, and then for you know what?
What?
I texted Dahi.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can we get some more information on Hook or By Crooke? And he's like, absolutely. You know what he did?
What did he do?
He recorded an explanation of the story behind Hook or By Crooke. And I say we just let the man himself tell us about the whiskey.
Yeah, nobody can do it better.
Here we go.
So yeah, the story about Hook or By Crooke is a funny one, how it came about. So it's an ex-Baltic stout cask, and it came from an unnamed microbrewery that was attached to a hotel in Ireland, and it was being commissioned using this Baltic stout. The brewer, who was a consultant brewer, he was invited in to commission the brewery, and he decided to use this a Baltic stout recipe with a certain yeast to give it a Christmassy kind of flavour to it. And obviously when it's a commissioning brew on it, you don't actually have your license to brew. So technically you're supposed to get rid of the beer. But he decided, let's get it into a whiskey barrel. Contacted me, I gave him a whiskey barrel. And of course he destroyed it afterwards. But we got the whiskey barrel back. Some of it might went into bottles and made its way around the country, I'm not sure. But none of it went on sale anywhere, let's say that. And we got it back in, and we decided to actually use Powerscourt double distilled single malt. Now, Powerscourt's a fantastic distillery in County Wicklow. They generally release triple distilled stuff only. They used a lot of source stuff under their releases to date, to that date, and then. This was the first independently bottled Powerscourt ever, actually. And then how the name came about is we wanted to follow the same kind of fun branding that we had from our From Clare to Here series of whiskies. And I decided to try and incorporate, locations again. And hook or by crook is a kind of a saying that's common enough to use. And if you're going to do something, you're going to get it done no matter what, by hook or by crook. But also in County Waterford, just down the coast from us, there is Crook Head, and across from that there is Hook Head in County Wexford. And we said with the fact that we're doing neighbouring counties, Wexford Beer, Waterford Whiskey Company, that's why we call it Hooker by Crook. So that's the story of how it came about. And I hope you like that little tidbit. Enjoy.
I love that little tidbit.
Yeah, we absolutely appreciate that little tidbit. That's fantastic. A Baltic Stout.
Yeah. So like usually these are really big and bold and dark.
So is this whiskey.
And so the whiskey, like I didn't expect it. Like I saw that when he put this out, I was like, that's what I want to get.
Yeah.
And I saw the store. I found a store that had it, and I had no idea. I picked it up, and actually I didn't know until I texted you the picture of the bottle, and you were like, Baltic. I was like, Baltic? Oh my God. Yeah. It's a Baltic Stout cask?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What is that going to do to this whiskey?
To an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
This Irish whiskey from Powerscourt.
Triple distilled?
Yeah. Oh,
Heck yeah.
man. So like
my bits are tingling.
50.2 ABV.
Hey now.
Yeah.
That's
so
what's up.
100.4.
I'm excited.
I'm super excited. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Just reaching up in your nostrils and just slapping you around a bit.
Just by holding it like sort of close to my face. Like, whoo.
Hey now.
Whoo, whoo.
I mean, in the bottle, this is like one of the darkest whiskeys. It's dark for even bourbon. Oh my gosh. Like I'm already like,
I just spilled some.
I got milk chocolate in the air.
I know. That's exactly that is exactly what I'm smelling. Just by pouring it. Yeah, I'm gonna echo what you just said. This is incredibly dark for an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't think of
holy
an Irish whiskey
crap.
that I've ever seen this dark.
But now that I say that, the Carry Out Killarney one that we did a couple years ago, that thing was super dark too.
Was it?
And that was, if I'm not mistaken, that might have been a stout cask as well. And that thing was dark too.
Right.
It's bourbon dark.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd even say like what you just, wow, I gave me a lot more.
Hey now.
I'd say it's even dark for a bourbon.
It's literally right up there with like some of the darker stuff you got.
Yeah. Oh, wow. On the nose.
That's incredible. Like so different. It's got Irish whiskey in there.
Yeah, you can tell the DNA is very clearly Irish whiskey.
Right.
You've got the shortbread. You got the clean nature, because most Irish whiskey, or I say most, a lot of Irish whiskey is distilled multiple times, so it tends to be a little bit more clarity. I feel like even on the nose.
Right.
Whereas like versus a bourbon where you're not filtering as much, or you're not distilling as much. Sorry.
Yeah, like initially it was like a shortbread biscuit with like a milk chocolate syrup drizzled over it.
For sure.
That's what hit me initially. But now I'm starting to get more like sweet tea notes and like maybe black currant.
I'm getting like slight cherry too.
Yep.
What I love about it, just on the nose, is that it's not quintessentially Irish whiskey. There's more to it. There's more depth to it. There's a jammy nature too.
Yeah, it totally is.
When I think about a Baltic porter, though, I'm thinking like these big, bold beers,
right,
with a lot of like chocolate malt and some a lot of toasted malt as well. The chocolate's definitely there, and like I think about that toasted nature, and it's like once your kind of nose adjusts to it, you get that on the very back end, and it's not toasted like toasted barrels toasted. It's toasted like bread is toasted. Like a really grainy bread.
Right.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's fun as hell.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Man. This is PX?
No.
Or the sherry?
No, it's
just the Baltic?
It's the Baltic. From what I understand, it is just the Baltic porter cask.
It is so jammy and has those kind of like notes on the palate. That is delightfully interesting.
Wow. in looking on Dahi's website here, it is ex-bourbon casks first fill and then matured in Baltic casks. So there is some of that bourbon nature there, but
but never touching sherry.
Yeah, never touching sherry.
That's wild.
But I agree with you. There's a sweetness there that I never attribute to an Irish whiskey.
Right.
And that's got to be the Baltic stout.
Sure. I suppose. Like on the palate, to me, it's reminiscent of Aberlour.
Oh yeah, it does.
It has
feel,
that jammy and like just like similar profile.
I didn't necessarily want to say that because I don't know like if it's sacrilege or not, but it feels very Scotchy. And I know Dahi doesn't like Dahi deals in Scotch too,
right?
Like he'll buy Scotch casks and use those for a myriad of things, but it feels very Scotch-like to me. Those notes of just like roasted, toasted, malty nature, especially on the sides of my palate, just like that's where it sings.
Yeah, like I mean. He said in that little tidbit about, the Baltic Stout being a festive beer, and having those holiday notes. Like, I totally get that in this. Like, it is a very, like, just with all the sweet fruits, the toasted malt kind of aspect, like, it is very kind of holiday-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what I always said. I mean, not to keep going back to the Aberlour, but that's what we always said about that whiskey also. Yeah. Was just how festive it felt.
Yeah, and like Baltic stouts and to some degree like stouts, maybe we're splitting some hairs here, but the difference between like a stout and a porter, and I'm using those terms interchangeably, and I recognize that they're different. Like a stout usually has more of the roasty toasty notes, like sometimes even into the like burned aspect, where a porter will use less of that kind of deep roasted malt. But to me, that's what then like that sings, and then I get this anise, almost like licoricey note. That's what anise, licorice, and like maybe cardamom or like nutmeg. Like that's what I'm attributing, and it's not like those flavors individually. It's like winter spice,
right?
You know what I mean? Right. And like that is just delightful. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
And all of that with the shortbread nature of Irish whiskey underneath it all, just holding it all.
Yeah.
The creamy. It's so good.
And then I think, first of all, like the proof, spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Like
perfect.
I think if you were to jack the proof up to 120, 115, 110 even, like I think that would eclipse, I think it would cut through the sweet too much.
Sure.
And so like you're just going to get proof. Whereas here at this like around 100 allows like the proof to accentuate the sweet rather than take over from the sweet.
Right.
But then I get this like pepper, like this just bit of like spicy peppery note on the back end too.
Yep, it's there. That's fantastic. Like that's so unique and different from any other Irish whiskey that I can possibly think of that we've had.
That's why I really appreciate about Dahi's bottling is that he's willing to experiment.
Right.
He's not afraid to experiment. This stuff is precious in the way that like I love this as an art form. But it's not precious in that we're not going to mess with it. Like we're not going to try experimental things.
But like when you were there, like did you ever try anything that was just kind of like, okay, that kind of misses?
With Dahi?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it just seems like everything that we've tried of his where it's just like that's so unique and interesting and different and delicious that it's just like, surely he's I mean, I guess it's probably, I'm sure it's mostly just because he's got so much knowledge and can like think it through of like, that in that cask is going to be interesting.
Yep.
And delightful. That's going to marriage well together. That I just, it amazes me that thinking back to some of the things that we've listened, like I was just listening to our most recent episode and it was the heritage cask.
Yeah.
And that's, that's boring to me compared to this.
I literally like get out of my head. Like I literally was thinking that exact same thing.
It's like when y'all do something experimental, it's still just so safe.
Right. Well, and that's like,
whereas this is so interesting.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Like in the bourbon world, and this is something that like, okay, our bourbon friends and bourbon homers and like, that's all you drink. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't mistake me. But like, that is the problem with bourbon.
Yeah, right.
Is that when a bourbon distillery says something like, we're going to be experimental, what, y'all like change the toasting on the cask? And like, yes, there are differences, but it's not interesting. It's not interesting in the same way that this is interesting.
Right. It's like, this is what we're making, and now we're going to try this different variation that's off by like half a degree.
Right.
Whereas like Scotch or like in this example with Irish, it's like boom.
Yeah.
Like here's a 45-degree alteration of what this originally was.
Right.
We're like dramatically altering its flavor profile.
Yeah, and in a way that enhances it, in a way that
it's complementary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas, oh man, I'm opening up Pandora's box here, but I'm gonna say it. Whereas here in the States, if you take a bottle of bourbon,
sure,
and you do that with it, people generally will not buy it. They just will not, because now you can't call it bourbon.
Right.
It has to be called American whiskey. And if you say like this is American whiskey aged in a Fino barrel or American whiskey in Baltic porter, people are gonna be like, nah, just give me the Jack Daniels.
We're gonna take our thing and we're just gonna add a bunch of flavoring to it.
Right.
And we're gonna have now apple something or honey that. Like, no, just do something interesting with the whiskey, with the
and
methods
trust,
that are there.
Exactly. Trust your independent bottlers to be able to do that.
Right.
And that's something that I think that we here in the States, like their independent bottling is becoming more prevalent. Well, we just did a bottle with an independent bottler.
Right.
And so, but there's nothing that bottle does that is experimental. That bottle is a great cask. That bottle is a great bottle. I love that bottle.
It was a great barrel pick.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's not doing anything experimental.
Right.
It's this kind of stuff and the kind of stuff that Dahi's doing, the kind of stuff that our friends at Lady of the Glen are doing, the kind of stuff that, you're taking these bottles, you're taking these casks and you're playing with it.
Yeah, and then you're plussing it.
Exactly. You're experimenting with it and you're trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Agreed.
I love it.
I cannot agree more. This is fantastic.
I'm going to tell you a negative.
Hit me with it. We can't get it.
It's very difficult to get here, and I only have one bottle.
Yeah.
That is the negative. That is
Agreed.
the only negative I have. And like you can tell, I still have a little bit of that carry out Killarney because I just don't want to kill that bottle. And I need to. I just go back to the nose real quick. The depth on the nose is impressive AF.
I know, dude. Like I've never nosed a whiskey that smells like that.
No, and like I go into it thinking Irish, and I'm like, wait, what? That ain't Irish.
Milk chocolate. Whoa. Tea. Herbalness.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Nutmeg.
That is fantastic. And I don't say that just because I like Dahi. I say that like as a genuine critic of whiskey. That is so damn good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's nuts.
This will be a fun bottle to sit with.
Oh hell yeah.
And
I bet it opens up.
I literally that's exactly my thoughts.
Yeah.
That this bottle will slowly kind of balloon and open and I can't I'm excited.
Which way does it go? Does it go more chocolatey? Does it go more fruity?
I'm gonna say it's gonna go more
gain
fruity.
Sweetness.
I think the sweetness is gonna drop off just a tad, but I think it's gonna gain some fruitiness, which I'm not sad about at all.
Yeah, I mean either way, I think it will gain depth.
Yeah,
once it's kind of lost its edge.
So I was thinking about our travels that I just did and travels that you're about to do.
Yep.
And something that came up in me planning this recent trip to Ireland was the conversation that I've actually been returning to a lot here lately, or the question I've been returning to a lot here lately, and that's Airbnb or hotel.
Right. Which do you prefer?
Yeah. That is the question. Correct.
Yeah. Airbnb versus hotel.
Yep.
I mean, oh man, for me it is kind of it's a bit of a toss up.
Yeah.
If I have to absolutely pick one, I probably would pick Airbnb, just in terms of my experience though. Like I've yet to really have a bad Airbnb experience.
Yes.
We've had some Airbnbs that I guess I would say early on.
Yeah.
Like when it was kind of a newer thing.
Yeah.
That it was, oh, okay, well this isn't as perfect a place as we was hoping it was going to be, but I've stayed in so many that were so spectacular, and it does kind of change your perspective on the trip or the city, the location that you're at, to give you a bit more of a sense of this is what it would be like to live here.
Yes.
It feels more homey. You're not coming back after a day of being out and sightseeing and stuff and going through a lobby, which, isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you're not going through a lobby and taking an elevator up and then tapping in to get into a room. It's more just like you're
coming home.
Yeah.
I honestly, man, I go back and forth.
I do too.
Because I have had some less than stellar Airbnb experiences. To be fair, yes, a decade ago, they were early on in the kind of Airbnb experience.
You ever had any negative hotel experiences?
I have had some, and that's what I was just gonna say. I've had some negative hotel experience too.
Look at you, Vermont.
Actually, I didn't mind that at all. Carol,
I was comfortable as hell.
Carol on the other hand, I was like, "What the hell is this?"
I like my mattresses at different levels. You know, it's just a preference.
I'm gonna go down for breakfast. You're gonna do what? I'm gonna go down for breakfast. 5 minutes later, how was breakfast? I didn't eat it.
That's good Eggos.
There's Cisco
They
waffles.
were not completely thawed, but I can like them that way. It's my personal preference.
I love those little bits
burnt edges, frozen in the center. The way God intended.
Absolutely. That coffee was pretty mediocre, though.
I think that summer sausage, I think we're just buying her wieners. But I'm okay with it.
Sprinkle a little sage on it. Gross. It's disgusting.
Making my mouth water.
No, I've had
Make me some sourdough biscuits to go with that.
I've had some pretty, not great hotel experiences too. The thing though, like, okay, with a not great hotel experience, there's generally someone to sort of solve that problem as best as they can, or at the very least, at the end of the day, you're generally dealing with a bigger company that would probably just rather give you the money to shut you up or give you that money back if you had just a horrific experience.
Sure.
Versus Airbnb, you're kind of dealing with, maybe a small company, but generally individuals. And so like, if you have a problem with, let's say, water or something at a hotel, they might just move you to another room.
Right.
Or like, we had an experience in Seattle where at a hotel where the AC wasn't working and it was brutal hot in Seattle. And they're like, this is like 100-year heat. And I'm like, I know it's 100 in this room. And so like they ended up, like coming in and fixing the AC, and like they did it within 20 minutes or so, and it was good. But if you had that, which I've had this happen at some Airbnbs in Denver, like AC's broken, it's going to be 2 weeks. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. This summer when I was in New York with my kids, we got a notice one morning, and ironically, like it didn't make sense. The notice that we got said from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock this afternoon, do not use your water. And we woke up, let's say 10:30.
Yeah.
So it was already too late for us. So it's like, okay, well, today we're going au natural. No showers for us today. It's like, why didn't y'all send this memo out last night to let us know, like, hey, if you want to take a shower, you better wake up and do it early because we're turning off the water at 10 o'clock.
Oh, they like turned the water off?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
They were changing something, redoing something. I mean, it ended up not being too much of an
but
issue
still an
for us. But it was just
inconvenience.
like, why didn't you tell us this the night before?
Right.
Either way. So we went out that morning, kind of did some things, and then we came back to kind of relax for a little bit for a couple hours before we went and did another thing at night. And while we were there in the afternoon, a dude came in and like needed to like turn the water on and like test some stuff, which was kind of awkward too, but like not a big issue. But it was just kind of like for a hotel experience, it's like this is all kind of awkward.
Yeah. Oh, so that was a hotel or that was an Airbnb?
No, that was at a hotel.
Wow.
I've never stayed in an Airbnb in New York.
Oh,
like in the
okay.
city.
Oh, this was in the city.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, this was like Times Square.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I for some reason I thought you were saying that this was an Airbnb and that happened. Okay. I was like, you stayed in an Airbnb in New York City? Like,
Yeah, no, never have found one that
like-
we wanted to try in New York City.
Yeah. So, okay, that's my point with Airbnb versus hotel. I think it comes down to, at least for me, the kind of vacation I'm going to have. And so like if my vacation experience is I'm going to see this place and I'm probably only using this hotel or the place to kind of lay my head, then I'd probably rather a hotel. And this past trip, like I splurged a little bit. We got some really nice hotels and hotel rooms.
Right.
And it was fantastic. But I also feel like I didn't get to enjoy the hotel room. Like these were like sweet kind of things.
Right.
So I really couldn't like sit there and enjoy it because my mind is on like, I want to go do stuff. I want to go see Ireland, and versus an experience like, maybe going to a place that I know or going to a place that like I'm sort of familiar with. You know what I mean? Like,
but I feel like that applies to an Airbnb as equally, because we were at a amazing Airbnb in Paris.
yeah,
But it was outside of Paris. And so we would go into Paris every day and regretted that we never just kind of like spent a day at the Airbnb, because it was in a little village outside of Paris. And the Airbnb was amazing. Like the host was amazing.
Yeah.
Like we absolutely could have just spent a day at the Airbnb and just kind of walking around that little village.
Yeah.
Then that we never did.
Well, so,
and like,
so that's what I'm saying. Like normally in terms of my perspective with Airbnb is I would rather than reserve that for a place where like maybe I know, or like I know we're going to do these things, but we're going to spend some time in wherever we're staying. So I'd rather get an Airbnb. I'd rather get a really nice Airbnb, a really nice room where we can sit, or a really nice place where we could sit, where we can, you know, drink some coffee. Like we did this in Nashville. We got a really super nice Airbnb in Nashville because I knew we'd be spending some time there. We'd be, you know, there's a deck area. We'd be sitting out there.
Our Airbnb in Colorado.
Airbnb in Colorado
was amazing.
Yeah. We didn't get to spend as much time there.
I know. Like I would have been like that place was so dope.
Yeah.
Like, you totally could have just spent a day at that Airbnb.
But also, then I go to, in that respect, when you're traveling with people that are not part of your immediate family, Airbnb makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you all, you know, you have separate rooms or whatever, but then you have a space to be. Because that's the problem with hotels, is that there's not a space to be.
Yeah, you're in a room.
Correct.
And like, do you unpack in a hotel? Are you that kind of a person?
No.
No, but nobody unpacks in a hotel room.
Yeah, and no.
I do unpack like on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be there long enough that it makes sense to.
Yeah.
But I've never unpacked in a hotel room. Like I still stay.
Very rarely.
You know,
you unpack in an Airbnb?
I have before.
Yeah.
Like if it's
Couple
I guess a
days
similar
stay.
kind of situation of like if I'm going to be here long enough, like Airbnb that we stayed at in Chicago is still like one of my top 3 favorite Airbnbs that I've ever stayed in. Like I unpacked there because we were going to be there for a week, and I unpacked there, but not necessarily. It's not always like a given.
Yeah.
Definitely unpacked in Vermont when we were in Vermont.
Yeah.
With that Airbnb.
You guys were there for a couple days though too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my normal play, right? What kind of vacation am I going to have? Am I going to have a let's hang out, we know this area kind of vacation? I'm going to err on the side of Airbnb. If I'm we're going to be moving like every day or every other day, I'm probably going to go hotel. And I think ease of everything in general, the ease of a hotel just appeals to me more and more. 9 times.
You're talking yourself out.
I am.
Mid-sentence.
I'm going to say 7 times out of 10. 70% of the time, it works every time. 70% of the time, I'm going to gravitate, honestly, now to a hotel.
Okay.
But I will look for Airbnbs.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's available? Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Like, because like to me, the one of the biggest benefits to the Airbnb is location.
Absolutely.
You're not required to be like, you know, either in the city or like at a place where it makes sense. Like you can be in a neighborhood.
Yeah, like we were in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of just get more of that kind of surrounding. My biggest kind of pushback on the Airbnb is like the moral issue of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's tough for me to like fully appreciate the Airbnb because of that.
Moral issue in terms of
like this building was constructed, this house was constructed to be somebody's home. Now, granted, the person that owns it has decided that they want to rent it out as a vacation space.
right.
You know, they've got that right too, I suppose. But
I'm taking somebody's home.
I'm using a space that should be a home for someone. Like
Yeah.
like where we stayed in Denver was a amazing space.
Yeah.
That was such a cool place. We were in a community that had a high school in the community. Like,
Yeah.
it was like less than like a football field away, I feel like.
Yeah, it literally was.
That house should be somebody's home, as amazing as a location as that was. So it's that kind of a thing. That's not what this building was built for. It was built to be a home. And we've now turned it into a vacation space.
Yep.
And I'm utilizing it as such.
Yeah.
But that's not the intent of the building. That's not why it was ever put there.
Yeah.
Whereas like a hotel is built to be a hotel. It's built to have people come in and stay. Like that's the purpose of it. And so it's a much bigger conversation than just hotel versus Airbnb.
Yeah, in that respect, yeah, definitely.
Like a couple of years ago, we were in Barcelona when they were doing the protests against tourism, and like we didn't like face any of it or see any of it for that matter. And we were staying in an Airbnb while we were there because like when we're visiting those types of cities, we like to stay in an Airbnb because you feel like you're coming home at night. You get a more realistic experience of what it would be like to live in that city. And we love that. But like, you know, that was like kind of like my first time really kind of like addressing that issue and like kind of trying to understand like why are they water gunning tourists in the city while we're here right now? Like, again, it didn't happen to us, but like we were reading reports about it, and it was all about that issue of like, well, the Airbnb aspect is taking away available rentable spaces from locals, and the locals hate that because now you're jacking up our rent, and you know there's a scarcity of available spaces and stuff like that, all because of tourism, and it's like I hate to contribute to that, and like. That's why the hotel is there. The hotel is there for you as a tourist. Right. So that's what you're supposed to do.
I thought about that, honestly, in this last trip of I am more aware of the housing crisis in Ireland. Like, housing in Ireland is stupid. Right. I think that any Irish person would probably agree that it makes no sense that these tiny little homes are so expensive. And to find a home that's affordable, you might be in the country. And to be fair, like most of the country of Ireland is country, right. But like you might be nowhere close to where you need to be. Does that make sense?
Right.
Where we would see this as kind of quaint. It's like, yeah, this is just inconvenient AF. And like, so you have these Airbnbs that are very clearly taking up the space that someone else could be renting or could be owning.
Right.
And the same in Scotland. I think we stayed at 2 different Airbnbs in Scotland in our time there. And it was like, this is cool. Like these locations are great and awesome, but like, yeah, you might be taking somebody's home.
Right.
And so like, why did I choose this over a hotel? I wanted that homey experience, but what is the cost of that?
You're right.
You know what I mean?
And like while we were in Barcelona, like there was some sort of legislation that had been passed or something where it was like, all right, well, we've got to keep it to a percentage where like only this
I think that's what New York has done too.
Airbnbs can be available at any given time or something like that. So like, you know, it's a market. Sure. It's supply and demand. If more people want to do Airbnbs, then it's like, well, then okay, then that hotel can become apartments or something. Like there's a balance to be made.
You are seeing some of that where like hotels will do we are Airbnb, but it's kind of both. Like not a hotel in like a Hilton kind of hotel, but like maybe
you do see that in like
maybe
New
more
York.
Bespoke kind of hotels. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Where like this is it's a hotel room, but it's like a suite kind of hotel room, and here's
right.
This is also
you can find it on Airbnb,
exactly,
but it's actually just a hotel. And we're listing this as an apartment or something.
Exactly. That kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. So push comes to shove. You're going somewhere. You're going to go Airbnb.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just, and I say that I've heard some horror stories of people who have like got there and the place wasn't clean or something like that.
Oh
like,
yeah. Just a wreck.
We stayed at an Airbnb in Florence, Italy, not Alabama. And
2 dramatically different places.
And like we never could figure out the AC in the place, and this was the summer.
Yeah.
And like we could get the fan to run, but it was never shooting out cold air. And then like you just gave up. The 3rd floor bathroom, there was this like cord hanging down, and obviously you shouldn't pull that cord, but my wife absolutely grabbed that cord and just bop. And it was an alarm. It was like a safe room kind of situation and set off an alarm. And like I had to go find like the freaking the circuit breaker box and like find none of this makes sense to me.
Just all Italian
switches and like finally found the one that like shut off the alarm. And because it was so hot, there were mosquitoes. Maybe there weren't mosquitoes. I don't know, but like there was just like there were the bugs that like you could clearly see that people were just like bop. And then like carcass. Bop. That one was like that was probably like the shadiest. But it was actually, I mean, it was a beautiful space. It was a really lovely place, and the location was great. But that was probably like the most like, And just because like it had stuff that like we just couldn't figure out and stuff like that.
And I would say like that is my most leery, or that's where
we didn't have somebody like we couldn't go down to the front desk and be like, hey, could y'all resolve this in any way?
And that's where like traveling internationally, I'm like, yeah, this Airbnb is dope. But if I go to a hotel and there is a problem, or at least like, you know, I can communicate a little better, or there's an issue, like probably rectify.
What did y'all do in Rome?
We did stay at an Airbnb. Yeah, because, and honestly, I'll tell you exactly why. Cheap as I am, every hotel in Rome that has AC listed is just expensive.
Right.
And so it's like, it actually makes more fiscal sense to engage in the Airbnb than to find a hotel.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not doing Rome summer without AC. Right. I'm an American.
Come on now.
I'm a sweat in places I didn't know I could sweat.
Proud to be an American.
Well, everywhere I walk,
at least I've got AC.
That's so good.
That was off the dome.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We just offended like half of our listeners.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean it, y'all. I don't mean it.
No, I do. I do. I'll own it.
But
yeah.
I don't mind.
You're from Alabama. I don't care.
I grew up in a house that didn't have AC.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we just had fans, man.
Oh, you know what? I do remember you saying that about like your sister's room had a
window
unit. Yeah, okay, I do remember that.
Yeah. I eventually got a window unit when I was in like high school.
Like, hey boy, he's starting to stink.
Yeah, we got to fix that right now. Get you a window unit.
Oh, gross.
For Christmas.
Yeah, I think I'm becoming more, I'm going to say this. I think I'm becoming more hotel oriented just because of the safety of it. Not safety in terms of like safety of, you know, am I worried I'm going to get robbed or whatever? Not that kind of thing, but safety of like, this is a more sure bet.
Yeah, I mean, general. Like legit at that same place in New York this summer, might have been the same day. We were walking in midday and some like absolute junkie off the street like followed us right into the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah.
And like I absolutely like picked up on it, and like we walked over to the elevator to go up where we have to like use our key cards to get on the elevator. Dude followed right behind us and like stayed right behind us, and then the elevator door opened and I grabbed my daughters and like said like, nah, like we're not getting on this elevator. And the dude then like approached my oldest daughter.
Yeah.
And before I could even like stop the dude, there were people from the hotel standing right there watching the elevators.
Yeah.
And they like immediately addressed the dude and like yanked him out in the street.
Yeah.
And I was like very happy that like at that point in time that like we're at a hotel.
Right.
Because if we were at a Airbnb, which again, never stayed one in New York, but maybe there would be like a bellhop that would like be not a bellhop. Maybe there'd be a I can't think what they're called, but just a doorman.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe there would be somebody who would be like addressing people and knowing, yes, you should be here, but maybe not.
Yeah, well, there was
that would be a different situation.
Yeah, there was something like that at an Airbnb that we stayed at in Nashville, where like there was at least a version of lobby. Like this was a straight up apartment complex,
right?
You know, like condos. But there was like a little bit of that kind of thing, you know, where it was like, yeah, you should be.
Are you supposed to be here?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's where I am, and I know that probably will change, but yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah.
You got anything else? No, me neither. We are not out of whiskey, but our glasses are empty.
Unfortunately.
That's okay. We can rectify it.
Always can resolve that as long as this bottle lasts.
Yeah, it ain't going to last very long. I got to tell you, it ain't going to last very long. Yeah. Well, we'd love to know, what do you think about the W.D. O'Connell Hook or By Crooke, the Baltic Stout cask?
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to find this bottle, absolutely get it. Highly recommend it. It is Drep and Stone approved.
Yeah, in fact, like I'm gonna put our sticker right on the front of that. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna ruin the bottle.
No, yeah. I wish we had some involvement in this, but we don't.
But we could. Ooh.
But it's approved. It's Drep and Stone approved.
What if we did? What if we got with Dahi and we were like, hey, we got a decent listenership over in y'all neck of the woods. We could make something happen.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, it really would. We'd also love to know, what do you think about this question of Airbnb or hotel?
Yeah. Is it a quandary for you, or are you like solidly one or the other?
Yeah, or were you team Airbnb and now you're team hotel, or vice versa?
Because of what we said?
Nah, just like, your experiences. Yeah,
for sure.
I don't think we swayed anybody.
Yeah, because like that could absolutely happen. Like you have that one experience with a really bad Airbnb, and you're like, never again.
Yeah, or you have that one experience with a really terrible hotel, and you're like, I want something that's more bespoke.
Right.
And I don't want to do a hotel.
Yep.
You can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
One word. Drep and Stone.
Ooh.
DREP and Stone.
Oh.
Find it. Like it.
What?
Comment on it.
Oh.
Share it.
Ow.
Best thing you can do.
Absolutely. And we love it if you support the podcast. You can do so through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Drep and Stone. Helps keep all the recorded machines recording. You can tell someone about Drep and Stone. That's probably the best way, Kyle.
Just whispered in there.
Drep and Stone. Go listen to it. Some ASMR type stuff right there. Ooh. Yeah, you don't have any nails, or I'd say like you don't do the clicky clacky. Oh, yeah, there's some sound there. I'll have to boost that audio. We just made a lot of people happy. You're welcome.
Tingly.
Yeah, you should tell the Patreon. Just and by Patreon, I mean like you should, give us $20.
There you go.
That's all we need.
There you go.
And preferably monthly. And you can also support the podcast by rating us wherever it is you get great podcasts like this one, Kyle.
Yeah.
May your glass overflow.
And your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.